What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I'm here in my hotel in Boston at PAX East. And earlier today, or I guess maybe yesterday by the time you're watching this, D&D Beyond announced that you can pre-order Eberron Soul of the Artificer on D&D Beyond. And as such, you actually can get some access by looking at the D&D Beyond listing as to more insight into what the sort of art style of the book is going to be, what sort of content you're going to get. So let's go ahead and head over to D&D Beyond and take a look at that. By the way, if you like what I do here, consider subscribing to the channel. So let's shoot over to D&D Beyond, and I'll showcase that there's a couple different options. There's the Era of Eberron Ultimate Bundle for $100. That's going to get you digital and physical Eberron, both Soul, or Forge of the Artificer, rather, I keep saying Soul, Forge of the Artificer and Rising from the Last War, as well as a physical copy of Eberron Rising from the Last War and Eberron Forge of the Artificer. Also, proof that Eberron Forge of the Artificer is going to be a physical book. I know at some point there was questions whether this was going to be a digital-only drop. And then it will also get you the Artificer Forge digital dice set, as well as 5 digital map packs for... I think it's just, I don't think it's tied to Eberron Rising from the Last War. I think those are Forge of the Artificer-based maps. There's a digital-only bundle, and then there is the Ultimate Bundle, which is $40, which is giving you quite a discount, honestly, for giving you the digital access and the book for only $40 is a pretty good deal, also giving you the maps and the digital dice. So you can see here it's going to give you 4 revised Artificer subclasses, including 1 new subclass, the Cartographer. So that'll be the Armorer, Alchemist, Artillerist, and Battlesmith, plus the Cartographer on Arthurcana. It's actually getting 5 subclasses alongside the base class of the 2024 Artificer. 5 revised species, 17 backgrounds, and 28 feats. Those feats are likely going to be Dragon Mark based. New spells, bastions, and magic items. What's interesting is I don't think we've heard anything. I mean, we knew they mentioned that they might do new bastions, but I think this is our first official hearing that that's going to be the case, as well as new spells. 3 distinct genre-based campaign templates for building fantasy noir, political thriller, and pulp adventure campaigns in the world of Eberron, and then over 20 new monsters, each inspired by a campaign model. So again, we're getting options for different styles of campaign. It sounds like noir, political thriller, pulp adventure, and so on. And hey, 20 new monsters on top of that. So if we were to take a look at these images, you can actually kind of see some of the art style. Right, here's the front cover. I like that the O looks like some sort of fastener here. We have this art, which I'm assuming is an Armorer Artificer. This art of someone maybe looks like actually forging a Warforged, perhaps. Exhilarating adventures for your party. Here's the back cover. Master magical inventions with a revised Artificer class and subclasses in Eberron Forge of the Artificer. This rules expansion for Dungeons & Dragons contains new options for players and DMs looking to set campaigns in arcane, treacherous world of Eberron. We have, so this looks like the Artillerist. So we can actually take a look and compare this maybe to, I don't think we're going to compare it directly to the Arthurcana. We can kind of see how it differs from the 2014 version with the little bit we're able to see here, as well as a little bit on the intro here of the Battlesmith. And this is really cool because this is kind of showcasing this art style, I'd say, of the book. So you can see it almost has like an inspired film noir vibe to just the layout and the kind of general art style of the book, which is something unique. So if we were to go ahead and go back and look at this Artillerist and take a look here, we start with level 5 Arcane Firearm. Can I split this on the screen and have you guys still be able to see it? Let's take a look. No, it's got it showing up where it's just showcasing 1 for you guys. Okay, we're going to have to adjust this. But let's go ahead and kind of pull that back up so it becomes full screen again for you all. Actually, you know what? I think I can do it and just do a direct comparison side by side. So here we go. Let's take a look. So it looks like it says here for the Arcane Firearm, for what we see here on screen, when you finish a long rest, you can use your woodcarver's tools to carve special sigils into a rod, staff, wand, or martial range weapon, and thereby turn it into your Arcane Firearm. They disappear from the object if you later carve them on a different item. You can use your Arcane Firearm as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells, When you cast an Artificer spell through the firearm, roll a d8, and you gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls equal to the number rolled. That seems to basically be the same as what we had in 2014. All right, let's look at Explosive Cannon. Every Eldritch Cannon you create, I guess we should scroll up because we can kind of see a little bit about the Eldritch Cannon. So let's look at, say, we can read Force Ballista in its entirety. For 2024, it says, make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon at one creature within 120 feet. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 force damage, and if it's a creature, it's pushed up to 5 feet away from the cannon. That looks to be the same. And Protector, it emits a positive burst of energy that grants itself and each creature of your choice within 10 feet. Temporary hit points equal to a d8 plus your intelligence modifier. That seems to be the same. So who knows? They may have just put in 2014 language to not expose anything ahead of time, but we'll keep reading. All right. So Explosive Cannon. It gains the following benefits. Detonate. When your cannon takes damage, you can use a reaction to command the cannon to detonate if you are within 60 feet of it. Doing so destroys the cannon and forces each creature within 20 feet to make a dex save against your spell save DC or take 3d10 force damage on a failed save and half on a success. And Firepower, the cannon's damage rolls and number of temporary hit points granted by Protector increased by a d8. So here it says, in the 2014, the damage rolls increased by a d8. So this has the difference of also increasing the temp HP. And then it says it was an action to command your cannon to detonate. And then it would be 3d8 force damage. It's now 3d10 force damage. And it was it's now as a reaction upon it being destroyed. When it takes damage, you can use your reaction to detonate it as opposed to choosing an action. This is way better. I like this a lot. And lastly, here we have Fortified Position. Let's look at our level 15 here in 2024. You gain the following benefits. You can now have 2 cannons at the same time. You can create 2 with the same magic action. You can activate both of them with the same bonus action, ordering them to use the same activation option or different ones. You can't create a third one, and you and your allies have half cover within 10 feet of your cannon. All right, you still had 10 feet within 10 feet of the cannon, gave you half cover. That's true. And it says you can have 2 cannons at the same time. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much the same. Okay, let's go ahead and look at, we have the intro bit here for the Battlesmith. Take a look. Heroism Shield. It's now Shining Smite, which was what previously was called Branding Smite, Warding Bond, Aura of Vitality, Conjure Barrage, Aura of Purity, Fire Shield, Banishing Smite, Mass Cure Wounds. So the spells appear to be the same. All right, Battle Ready. It now says for 2024, when you attack with a magic weapon, use your intelligence instead of strength or dex. You gain proficiency with martial weapons. You can use a weapon with which you have proficiency as a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells. So that was the additional added bit there, is you can use it as a spellcasting focus. That was not an option in 2014. And then the last little bit here for Steel Defender is, he doesn't actually really give us anything specific. In a combat, it can take its so we're not really getting. Either way, I thought it was worth mentioning that we can take a look, get a look at the art style, and kind of see some of a little bit of the previews. So yeah, I'm excited to see Eberron, Soul, Forge of the Artificer. I really want to say Soul. Anyway, I thought I would just cover that, let you guys know it's pre-orderable now on D&D Beyond. I'll have links in the video description if you want to go ahead and do that yourself. And that'll be out later this year. So if I'm able to get a chance to play in one of the Eberron games here at PAX East, I will go ahead and make a follow-up video kind of telling you what sort of options, character options and stuff I was able to get access to. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.